So watch your language, Tina.
Okay, noted.
All right, hope you all are doing well. We're gonna start with announcements. If you have announcements yourself you wanna share with everybody, you could use that raise your hand function on the bottom or whatever. You can always chat with all of us or chat directly to one of us. You can chat with individuals as we go through this. But we're gonna try to conduct this like a regular class and try to make it fun, but also worth your time. So thanks for joining us. And Tina, why don't you share your screen and show everybody the announcements?
Okay. Can you guys see that? Thumbs up? Okay. All right. So for number 1, it's tutoring hours. We're still doing our 3 hours every week. So be sure to be signing in. If you don't know how to sign in because you still haven't done it, just text one of us and we're happy to help you figure that out. But it's pretty easy. If you're on here, you should be able to get on the tutoring hours. Also, Ames is offering remote tutoring through Zoom. So a lot of times Cande, myself, Robert, or Jelly are really busy, and we might say, hey, we don't have time right now to help you. But if you have some of these classes, for example, counting, biology, math, reading, writing, you could email the email here that I have listed to be able to make an appointment with somebody down at Ames. So that's a really good opportunity for you guys to get the extra help. Do you guys want to add anything to that, Robert or Jelly? Are we good?
Jelly does.
Oh, hi. Yes, I would like to add that when you all sign in, when you log in, please either send a direct message to Jelly, Tina, Robert, or send us a message right here on the Zoom session so that we are sure to be logging you in. And then also when you log out, sometimes Tina, Robert, and I are busy in other meetings or helping other students. Please make sure you're letting us know when you sign out, because sometimes you sign out and I go back on here and I'm like, wait, where did Elena go? And people are like, oh, I didn't notice you left. And so I'm not able to record your hours, so you don't get credit. Does that sound good, everyone? Yes? Sheila? Awesome. Thank you. And you guys are doing really, really good. I have committed that at the end of the day, I'm going to add up your hours that you did that day, and I'm going to tell you, hey, today Ulises completed 2 hours and 15 minutes. You still have to complete 45 more minutes. So be sure to keep me accountable so that if you don't get your reminder, you text me, hey, Jelly, how many hours have I done? And I will send you those updates. And that was requested by you guys, so I will commit to do that next week.
Thank you, Jelly.
Thanks, Jelly. Kande, why don't you talk about what your plan is?
Okay, great. So hi guys. I hope classes are going well for you. So my hours, I log in every day from Monday to Thursday from noon till 2 p.m. and I'm here to help you guys if you guys have any questions, any math homework, reading, writing that you may need help with. If you can make it those hours, just email me or text me so we can set up a time to meet. I am available pretty much every day in the mornings too, or in the afternoons, however works best for you. So if you guys need any help with any subject, I know online classes can be hard sometimes or confusing, but if you need any help, I'll be happy to help you guys.
Thank you, Dante. Okay, so the next thing on our list is stipend checks. So the $75 stipend check should be arriving to your house here soon. I believe they were sent, or they're gonna be sent on Monday or Tuesday. So you should be receiving that. Also in the near future, so maybe a couple weeks after your first stipend, We will also be sending out the $200 check, and that'll also be mailed to your home. Is there anything you want to add to that, Robert, or did I cover it?
Yeah, that's good. We are for that March check, we are missing 8 checks. So 8 students, I haven't received their check. But if any of you received a check in the mail for March, it'll be a $75 check. Please let me know, like shoot me a chat, shoot me a text or whatever. So I'm not bugging the CU office to make sure that they're creating a second check for you. But if you received it in the mail, it'll be a $75 check from CU. You can go ahead and hold on to it and cash it, but just please let me know that you got it. Because I remember, Saul, didn't you say you got it? I don't. But I didn't hear from anybody else. Okay.
Yeah, I told you.
Right. So then there are 7 other of you whose check I did not receive, but I'll get these mailed out on Monday. And then the April $200 check will be sent directly to you. It won't come through me. So I'm just going to ask that if you do get that $200 check from CU, you shoot me a text and let me know when you get it. Thanks.
Awesome. Thank you, Robert. Okay, so also another thing a lot of students have been worrying about is withdrawal. Withdrawal deadline has been moved to May 5th to help you guys kind of just have more time to figure out how you're going to be doing in your classes, since it's been a big shift and a big change. So this is really good news, so that you guys have time and you don't have to worry necessarily like, I need to drop my classes, I need to withdraw my classes because I'm not doing well. That's the last day of school too, is May 5th. So that'll be a really good deal for you guys to kind of just measure how you're doing in your class and whether or not you're going to need to withdraw at the end. So that's good news. The 5th thing is the peer coach opportunity. So there's a link. If you're interested in this, you could text me. That way I can send you the link directly. But this is a job at Ames Community College, and they're going to have a couple of positions open for different campuses. So what you would be doing is you would be coaching incoming freshman students and kind of showing them the ropes on how college works, and if they have any question, kind of like a mentor program. So you would be somebody's mentor. So if you're interested in that, they do pay you to do that, and you get paid. So it's a really good opportunity, and it would look great on a resume. So if you're interested in that, just go ahead and text me or email me, and I can get you the link. LULAC. Does somebody want to talk about LULAC? Whoever's involved.
We kind of postponed everything, all the events, like the blood drive, and then I think we were gonna do a car wash. But we are going to do the meetings through Zoom, and we're also gonna do like fun activities as well. So that's pretty much it.
Awesome. Thank you, Abel.
So Abel, can you share when those meetings are, so if people want to log in, they can?
Geez. Sorry. I'm trying to look for the. I don't really.
If I had to take a guess, I would think they'd be on Wednesdays at 1:30. Does that sound right?
Yeah. Yeah, Wednesdays
right.
at 1:30.
Okay, so if you are interested, shoot Abel a text or Jelly or Robert, and we can get you the meeting ID so you can join us.
Yeah.
Thank you, Abel.
You guys should join. It's fun. Okay, the next thing is PAC meeting switch. So before this whole thing happened and we were still at school, we were talking about switching PAC groups previously, and then it kind of was postponed because of everything that's going on. But we will be doing a PAC switch, I'm guessing next week, Robert?
Yeah, I think over the next couple of weeks we'll do it.
Okay, we'll let you guys know. But you will be meeting with a different PAC leader. And I think we already discussed on how we were going to switch. So I think Robert gets the Slytherins. Robert?
Yeah.
I get Hufflepuff and Jelly gets Gryffindor. So that's what it's going to look like, but we will let you know, and we'll schedule that with you. Okay. So for registration for classes, a lot of you guys we've already met with to register for your classes. One exciting thing is for the summer term there we do have a scholarship. So if you're interested in that and you haven't heard about it yet, just go ahead and reach out to us and we can tell you more about that and what that'll look like. Also, there are online and in-person class offerings at Ames in the summer. So we don't know what that's going to look like, but they're still offering online and in person. So it could still be in person in the summer, hopefully. Our next class would be April 24th, and it'll also be on Zoom. I don't know what happened. Hold
It looks like we're looking at your email.
Hey, Tina.
on. Oops. All right, and that's it for the announcements. Does anybody have any questions on any of those things?
I do.
What's up, Ruben?
When you said the scholarship for summer classes or something like that, what do you mean?
So camp is giving out a scholarship to students who want to take a class in the summer.
Okay. Yeah, I think Jelly actually did talk to me
Oh,
about.
okay. Perfect. Yes. So that's what I'm referring to is if a lot of you have talked to your PAC leaders about registering for the summer, they should have, or we talked to you about scholarship that
Okay.
camp is giving for the summer. Thanks,
Okay,
Ruben. Is there any other questions or additions to what I had to say from Robert or Jelly or Cande? No?
No, I think we're good. We can go ahead and move on to your slides, Tina. As she transitions, I want to thank you all for joining us again. And I know the Zoom things here, we're probably getting tired of having to meet like this in 2 dimensions, but it is good to see you all. But it's important for us that we, keep going with these practices because of the pandemic we're undergoing. And so we, like the camp team decided we should talk more about it and kind of, give you an overview that you probably already know, but also sift through some of those myths and things and misunderstandings that are going around. So Yuseli and Tina have worked out some presentation for you all. But if you have those burning questions, even if you feel like they're dumb or silly or whatever, now's the time to ask. And then we'll get those out because I think that there's a lot of misinformation out there that we want to clarify.
So will you raise your hand?
Yeah. So I guess they were saying that COVID-19 is in the air for like a certain amount of time. Is that a myth?
Well, I see you kind of shaking your head. Do you want to?
Well, I can't remember this very well, but if you go to the CDC website, which is the Centers for Disease Control, that's where you find information about it. And I know it depends on the surface, but I think for plastic, it can the virus can be on the plastic surface for up to 2 to 3 days. So it depends. So yeah, you can find coronavirus in different surfaces. Is that what you call? Yeah, around you. So it's better just go to the CDC and they will give you all the information and if it's true or not. You hear a lot about like on the news, but sometimes that is not very true. So if you want like reliable information, go to the CDC or WHO, which is the World Health Organization.
I do have things, Cande. We are going to talk about like the virus staying on surfaces and how long they survive on the surfaces. So we will get to your question in a little bit, Saul, but we'll get to it. So just give us a second. So a lot of you guys already sat through part of this presentation the very last time we met when we went bowling. We did add more things now that there's more information and more things have happened. So just sit tight and just be patient. So if you've already heard this, it's good. It's just a good refresher. So what it is a respiratory illness that can spread from person to person. And then that is within a 6 feet radius. So to say that it's spread like it stays in the air is not 100% correct. The one way I've heard a doctor talk about it is if somebody is talking or sneezes, there's droplets in the air that are falling right slowly. So if somebody else walks through it and breathes it in, then yes, it could be in the air. But the likelihood of that happening is not great. It's not like a big possibility. So that's not something that you should worry about. It's more about like surfaces, it stays on surfaces, or if you're like in close proximity to another person within those 6 feet, right? So what I'm talking about is there's respiratory droplets either from somebody's nose or their mouth that when they cough or sneeze, they release this into the air is what that is. So when somebody has COVID-19, it takes sometimes a really long time for them to show or exhibit symptoms. Sometimes it takes 2 to 14 days after they were exposed. And this is what makes this disease or this infection very this is the scary part about it, is because sometimes somebody can be sick and they're not showing symptoms and they could be spreading it to somebody else. What's up, Saul?
Is it true that if you do get symptoms, stuff like that, and you take Advil, like it hides the symptoms away? Because that's what I've been hearing, that Advil takes away the symptoms and stuff like that, but you still may have it. But if you're taking Advil, you're not going to show them no matter what.
So from what I've read about Advil, what people are concerned about with taking Advil is that it's an anti-inflammatory, and there's the defenses in your body that need those inflammatory I don't know what you would call them.
Responses
For the COVID to like be fought off by your body. So what they're recommending is for people not to be taking Advil, or another way of knowing that that medicine is ibuprofen. So ibuprofen or Advil, which are the same thing, is not a good thing to take because your body needs those inflammatory defenses to fight off coronavirus if you were to get it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Is there any other questions on that? Tylenol is good. If somebody does get coronavirus and is getting like side effects from it, like headache or fever or whatever pain you're exhibiting from, like maybe muscle pain, you can take not Advil, Tylenol. Tylenol,
acetaminophen.
Yeah, acetaminophen to kind of take those side effects away and try to feel better. So it's not in itself curing you, it's just getting rid of those symptoms so that you're not like miserable. So Tylenol is good to go. Do you guys have any questions on that? No? Okay, we're good. All right, so some of the symptoms are fever, cough, and shortness of breath. These are the ones on CDC. So they're the most common ones, but there is sometimes like fatigue is one of them that they're saying that is also common. So like muscle pain and tiredness. So for prevention, there is no vaccine. There still isn't a vaccine that'll prevent you from getting the coronavirus or COVID. But how can we avoid getting exposed to it is staying home. That's very important. We need to try to stay at our homes if that's possible. If you don't have any essential business outside of your home and you just want to go hang out with your compas or with your friends, don't. Right now, it's very important that we stay home, because maybe somebody in your house has COVID and they don't even know it because they're not exhibiting symptoms. So we don't want to spread this even more than what it already is. Washing your hands. So we know we're at home, but it's still a really good idea to just wash your hands, and doing this for 20 seconds. Jelly did show us how she washed her hands in CNA training. And so are you on here, Jelly? Can I call you out?
Yeah, what's up?
Can you like show us how you wash your hands in the CNA class?
Okay, so this is just the things that they told us to do is that you need to, like, there's a lot of bacteria that is underneath your nails. And so it's really important that when you're washing your hands, you go in between your fingers everywhere, and that you like scratch your nails onto the palm of your hand, so that we're making sure that we're like getting under there. And then that you are rinsing your hands thoroughly, like, and after you wash them, to not try to touch each other so that you don't cross-contaminate the germs you have on one hand to the other, and then dry them off. And after you dry them off is when you close the water in the faucet, so that any germs that you left on the faucet when you turn it on, you don't take back onto your hands when you go to close it after you've washed your hands.
Thank you, Jelly. Okay.
Can I
You can
add
go back to
something
share screen, Tina.
Yeah, what's
Yeah.
up, Anna?
And also, you're supposed to wash your cuticles one by one, and for your thumb, you do the scratching thingy on your palm as well. And that's it.
Thank you, Anna.
Good point, Anna.
Welcome.
Can you guys see? I'm still new at this technology.
You're doing well.
So if you can't wash your hands for some reason, hand sanitizer, especially hand sanitizer, or you need to use hand sanitizer with 60% alcohol or more. Otherwise, it's really not going to do very much for you. So those three things are very important in how to avoid being exposed to the virus, but also trying to not spread if you might have it and you don't even know. Those techniques are good, but also avoiding touching your face. And the reason why is, let's say you missed something when you wash your hands, or let's say you touched something, a surface that had COVID-19 things, right? And you touch your face, like your eyes, like you're rubbing your eyes, or you're touching your nose, or you're biting your nails, or whatever it is, you're exposing your body to that, and that's a way you can contract it. So try not to do that. Staying home when sick, we keep saying stay home, but that's truly like the best thing is if you think that you're sick, trying to stay home, and even in your own home, try to like isolate yourself from others around you, especially also pets, so that you're not spreading that even more, right? Covering your cough and your sneezes, and cleaning and disinfecting, which we're going to go over a little bit later too.
I know you're going to talk about this in a bit, Tina, but can you talk about why the mask works as prevention in a different way than they think?
Yes. We are going to go through it a little bit more thoroughly a little bit later, but what the reason why we're using masks is to prevent the spread and not necessarily to prevent us from getting it. So the reason why it's good to wear a mask is so just in case you have it, you're not spreading that to other people. So it's more of a preventative measure for everybody else from us. Does that make sense? So when we'll talk about it a little bit more. So here is a map of the Colorado stats and a little bit of numbers that I got from colorado.gov on their COVID section of their website. And this was updated yesterday, April 9th. And so in Colorado, there's a total of 6,202 cases that have been reported. From those, 1,221 people have been hospitalized from it. That doesn't necessarily mean that they're still in the hospital. That just means that at some point they were hospitalized and they might be doing better now. We have tested 31,000 people, which is a lot of people. And then there's been 226 deaths thus far. What's up, Saul?
Is the youngest actually 21 years to die from it?
What's that?
The youngest person to die was 21. Yes or no?
No, they're in Colorado.
Yeah, well, with the virus. Well, yeah, in Colorado with the virus.
I'm not sure about in Colorado. They didn't have those stats on the website. I do know that in the world, 21 hasn't been the youngest to die. There have been a very, very small number of infants, like ridiculously small, so it's not a big concern for that type of age group. But in Colorado, I'm not sure what the youngest age is, and I could probably look it up, but it wasn't on the website. Is there any other questions about that? No. Okay. So we're gonna go over Colorado public health orders. Some of them on this page and some on another. So there's a stay-at-home order. This started sometime in March, and it will last through April 26th. It's a little bit earlier than like the country one, supposedly, because they had mentioned April 30th, but our governor wants it April 26th. But that's still tentative. We don't know if they're going to extend this. Hopefully they don't. If we all listen to the rules and we try to stay home when we can and follow all the rules that we're talking about right now, then yes, we could probably get over this faster. But we do need to follow the rules. We do need to be precautious, and we need to take care of ourselves so that we can get this over with and we can move on with our lives. So please, guys, take heed of these rules and follow them, because we want to see you guys. We want to go back, and so we just need to follow the rules. What's up, Saul?
Are you guys gonna do the poll here? Like try to get everyone's guess on it?
What's that? Oh, the poll? I'm not sure.
Robert?
I'm not what Robert's thinking there.
Yeah, I could bring that up in a bit.
All right, sounds good.
Okay. So stay at home unless you need to for essential needs. What does Colorado deem essential needs is work that is considered essential. So people have gotten their letter of, you're an essential employee, we still need you to come to work. Even when people are going out to work, it's very important that they go to work and come home and try not to like go other places that they don't absolutely need to. Getting food or essential items for you or your family, and this is extended for pets or for livestock, so you could still go out and buy hay for your cows, or you could still go buy food for your dog, as long as it's that essential buying subsistence or buying food for family members or pets. The state parks are technically open. They are open, but a big but, not the playgrounds and not the picnic areas. And why? Because they don't want people getting together in an area to like clumped together in big groups. And they also want to eliminate the surface contracting virus through surface areas. So on the playground, if you take kids to play on the playground, that's a big risk, because then other kids who might have been infected played there, and then the other kids are getting infected, and that's just not a good idea, so that's why they're closed. So just know. What's up, Saul?
Doesn't it die quicker with the heat though?
Well, yes, kind of. But we'll talk about that. And we just want to follow these rules, because we don't want to be taking these chances. Because if we keep taking chances, more people are going to get infected. They're going to get stricter on rules. We're going to have to stay at home longer, and we don't want those things. So we just want to follow the regulations that we have in place so that we could just be done. Does that make sense? Cool. All right. Also, another reason why you can go out or is an essential type of thing is caring for a family member who is vulnerable. So these people could be maybe the vulnerable population, which is people who are older, right? Or people who already have pre-existing conditions like diabetes, or any lung conditions. So that's one of the reasons why you can go out, is if you're providing care for a family member who needs that help or needs to go get groceries. I know some people who have parents or grandparents who are part of that vulnerable population who are sick, and they will go out and buy groceries for them and leave them at their door for them. And that's a really good idea, so that they're not being exposed because they're so vulnerable. Do you guys have any questions about that? Or addition or anything you want to add?
Just to talk to that really quick. If you do have those people in your family and you want to care for them, part of caring for them is making sure you're not exposing them to these things. So even though you feel like, oh, I should go and visit them and make sure they're okay, that's maybe the opposite of what's in their best interest, because you want to still be clear of them in case you are carrying something. So caring for those family members does not necessarily mean visiting them. Sometimes it could just mean I'm delivering goods to them, but I'm disinfecting the goods that I'm sending to them to make sure you're not spreading the germ to them, right?
Thank you, Robert. Okay, so what can happen if we don't abide by these orders? So there's already been these consequences that have happened, but if somebody is found doing something they're not supposed to be doing that's not deemed essential, they could get $1,000 fine or even potentially jail time if they're not listening. These are still not like, so people are not getting pulled over yet. People are not like, these rules are not like so rough right now, but if we don't listen, they're gonna get to that point, and we don't want that. So implementation of stricter orders, that's what we're worried that's gonna happen. So let's say people are not listening to this essential need, they're still going to parties, they're still going to whatever they want to do, which they're not supposed to be doing. What's going to happen is the COVID-19 is going to be spread more, and then our government's going to have to like put in place more like strict rules and more strict enforcement of it. So the way they're going to execute it will be like a little bit more strict or more strict. And this is something that we worry about because there's other populations of people who could be affected by this very deeply. People are already losing their jobs. If we get stricter rules of staying at home and more businesses start closing, people are going to lose even more jobs, and people can potentially lose their homes from not having income, and they're going to lose livelihood if these things become more strict, right? We also have a very vulnerable population who can be very deeply affected by that, which is our undocumented population. And this hits home for me, and I know it does for a lot of you, is that it worries me that if they do get stricter and start pulling people over or start enforcing these rules in a deeper way, those people can be deeply affected by that. So we need to be conscientious about other people. We might not be in that situation, but there's a lot of people who are in that situation. So we need to like pay attention to that and be mindful of that. We don't want to put people in bad situations. And so we need to think that our actions can turn a situation even that's bad already into like a worse situation for somebody else. So it's not just about us. We need to think about other people and how that can affect other people. Do Robert or Jelly or Kande want to add to that? Are we good?
Yeah, well put. Thank you, Tina.
Thanks. Okay. The other thing is wearing masks, wearing face masks. There's different types of masks. There's the surgical ones. There's been shortages on those, and I'm sure you guys have heard that, like in the news or on social media. There's other people who have started wearing bandanas, and there's also people who are making homemade face masks as well. And this is kind of where I wanted to talk more about why we're doing this. And it's not really 100% to prevent yourself from getting COVID, but it's a good way of preventing people to get COVID from, like, let's say I'm wearing a mask. I'm not really like getting any benefit from wearing a mask, but other people around me are benefiting because I might not be spreading my germs to them, right? So it's not for your protection, it's for others' protection. And this is the reason why is because when you're out and you have your mask, you might be, the outside part of your mask might be exposed to those aerosol or the droplets that we talked about earlier. And that's the scary part, because when you bring them home and you take them off, there could be already those droplets on the mask that survive for days. And that is a way that you can contract it yourself. So it's very important that you and your family learn how to, when you're going out wearing your mask, that's great. It'll help reduce the rapid spread, but also like having a system in place where you're gonna wash that bandana, wash that cloth face mask, so that you're not exposing your home and other surfaces to that sickness. Does that make sense? And so I'm gonna show you guys. Where did I have it? Hold on. I don't know how to make this big. Okay, there we go. So this is a table that shows the amount of time or the lifespan that COVID-19 virus has on surfaces. If you could see, the paper and tissue is only 3 hours, and the cardboard box is only 24 hours. So a lot of people worry that through their mail they're gonna get COVID, but that's very unlikely because there's such a short lifetime. And even if they were on it, the way UPS and different package handlers handle mail, they're in different temperatures. Sometimes they could be in a hot truck, sometimes they could be in warehouses that are very cold, and because there's such a fluctuation of temperature there, the virus wouldn't survive, and it's very unlikely that it would survive on that paper or that cardboard. I know that Cande works at Amazon, and maybe she can kind of give us an insight on what Amazon and their precautions, what they've been doing. Would you mind, Cande?
Okay, so right now Amazon is trying to keep like do good things to fight over the coronavirus. So if you order through Amazon, don't worry, we wear gloves every day. As soon as we get in the building, we have to wear gloves. We are wearing face masks right now. So I think last week they started taking temperature. So everyone who enters the building has to go through the safety zone, which is where they take temperatures, and they try to keep people 6 feet away from each other. So where I pack, I'm not near anyone. I have the person who's working next to me 6 feet apart. So every time that we grab a box or we grab a new item, we're wearing gloves. We at the start of every shift, we clean our areas, we disinfect them. And so we're trying to be careful. So if you want to order online, feel free. I mean, I can speak for Amazon because I work for Amazon. So I am trying to do my part too, because I think about my family. And if I were to order something from Amazon, I want my family to feel safe, to feel good that they're ordering good things and that they're not going to be getting the virus or something. So yeah, that's what I can say from Amazon. So if you want to order something, if I'm working there, I'm telling you that I am doing a good job.
Thank you, Cande. And so even if we look at this chart, paper and cardboard are not high on that list of it survives long on that surface. If you look at surgical masks, surgical masks can have a virus live on it for up to 7 days. And this is where the concern is it's good to wear masks to prevent spreading the disease from you to somebody else. But when you're bringing that back home, it's very important that you're disposing of them and that you're washing your hands right after. And if you don't have the reusable not the reusable, the paper surgical mask that you just throw away, if you're using a cloth, if you notice cloth, the virus can live up to 2 days. And so when you're taking this off, maybe having a system in your house when you're coming in, you have like your hamper, you're putting it in there, your other clothes you're putting in that hamper from outside, and then washing that, but also washing your hands and being mindful of not touching your face after you do these things. You could use disinfectants, so sprays. You could also use Clorox wipes and those types of disinfectants, Lysol, to reduce the probability of you bringing this into your home. Is there any questions on that? No? Okay. Yes, and then if you look at another one that's important is the plastic and the glass the los sartenes, the stainless steel, those still have some days in span of where the virus could survive. So wiping down hard surfaces in your home, doing that on a daily or after you come home from the groceries, that's very important. Like the bags that you're using at grocery stores, anytime you're bringing stuff from outside into your home, like especially groceries, making sure that you're disinfecting those as well, because plastic, you can have the virus live on there for up to 3 days. So you want to make sure that you're bringing your groceries in and wiping them down before you put them away. Okay. All right. So that's a really good precaution to take, and it would help with the spread of it, or preventing the spread. So this is kind of what we went over right now, is cleaning and disinfecting your clothes and masks when you're coming into your home, and then your groceries, because those are the two main things that are coming in to your home in the weekly basis, right? We need food and we need clothing. So making sure those are clean. So what do I do if I get it? Stay at home. Try to isolate yourself in your home. Last time we were in class, we talked about this. If you do have more than one restroom, it's a good idea that if somebody in your home already has COVID, restricting them to one restroom and everybody else using a different one. If you don't have that option, making sure that every time that person goes to the restroom, you're cleaning, or that they're cleaning. That way that you're preventing other fluids to get to other people and spreading it that way. Contacting your doctor before going to go see somebody for medical attention. That's very important. Doctors and doctors' offices really want you to call before you just show up. Because if you're not so bad, it might be a better idea for everybody else and for yourself to stay home. So just making sure you contact your doctor before. Limiting contact with others, people, and pets. That's very important. So if you or somebody in your home has it, making sure somebody else is taking care of pets. That way we just limit the contact there. Cleaning, washing your hands, even when you're sick and you're at home. The person who's infected should be washing their hands still, and everybody else in the home should also be washing their hands frequently. So for treatment, like we talked about, you could use Tylenol. You could use decongestants to help alleviate the pain that COVID might cause. And you can use those over-the-counter medications like Tylenol that we talked about. And I guess at this point, avoiding the Advil and the ibuprofen. Is there any questions about that? Nope. Awesome. Okay, so here are some of the myths. These are some things that are not true. One myth is if you have coronavirus, you are gonna die. You're probably not gonna die from coronavirus. There is like a 3% chance of dying once you're infected. So that's not true. If you're healthy and you don't have pre-existing conditions, you're more than likely you're gonna be okay. This is really just worrisome for those people who have those underlying conditions or are in the older, more vulnerable population. There is medication / treatment. We still don't have medication or treatment that will take away COVID or make you completely get rid of it. It's just getting through the symptoms and making them a little bit less painful through over-the-counter medication. I can breathe it in. So that's one thing that Saul asked very early on in the presentation does it stay in the air? And the answer is not really. It's just like it's falling. Like when somebody sneezes and they have it, it'll eventually just go away. It's going to dissipate. It's just like a droplet in the air. So it's not like you go outside of your house right now and somebody passed by there an hour ago, you're not gonna get it from breathing in the air. Pets will get sick. So we still don't see that happening. Pets aren't getting sick, so don't worry about that, but still limiting the contact. If you are sick or somebody else is sick, you should keep away from your pets. You'll know as soon as you get the virus. We talked about the symptoms not exhibiting sometimes up to 2 to 14 days. So some people might not even get symptoms and they'll get over the COVID and they didn't even know they had it. So that's also a possibility. Ordering things from China will ship the virus. That is absolutely not true. You cannot get COVID from ordering something from China. That's just not true. And then also all Chinese people have coronavirus. That's also not true. This is not a Chinese virus. There's people, and even very important people in our country, that have said that this is a Chinese virus, and that's not true. And it's a form of discrimination, and it's not okay. We need to treat people with respect, and doing and saying those things and perpetuating those lies, that's it's not respectful and it's not okay. So that's one thing that we can clarify today for you, is that it's not all Chinese people have the coronavirus, and it's not a Chinese virus. Does anybody want to add any more myths or that they've heard? No? Okay. Okay, so what can I do? What is your part in all of this? Try to stay home as much as you can. If you don't have to leave your home, don't. Wear a mask when you go out. I know Robert was sending masks to students, but also being safe with your mask. So when you come home, making sure that you're washing it and doing it safely. Cleaning and disinfecting items that come into your home. So like we talked about, your groceries, disinfecting those when they're coming in. And then not spreading misinformation. So this one's very important. Before you talk about something that you've heard maybe on Facebook, making sure that those things are actually true. And I have a list of websites where I found all my information that I can share with you all, so that you can check. If you hear one of your tias or your uncles or whatever saying things that are not true, also it's important that you say, hey, that's not true, that's a myth, and this is the real information, and show them that you have a good resource where you're getting your information. Because a lot of times when our tias or our family members are talking and sharing all this information, sometimes it's not true, and we want to like ease their mind and say, hey, those things aren't true, but this is true, and it might make them feel better too. So just be that voice for your family. You guys are very intelligent, and you're getting this presentation, and I'm sure you know how to find resources. So it's very important that you're that voice of reason for your family and become that leader in your family too. And then here's our works cited. So here are some of the websites we used. We used CDC, like Kanda was talking about, Centers for Disease and Control. We used the Colorado webpage, colorado.gov. We did use an article from Business Insider and Live Science. So here, if you guys want to write some of these down, you can. Is there any questions? No. Robert, Jelly, Kande, you want to add anything to?
Just one thing that I've seen a lot of the internet right now is that people should be taking a lot of vitamin C and all that. I feel like we shouldn't just be taking or eating like well right now that the coronavirus is happening. So something that we can take away from this is just to like drink water every day, try to eat more fruits and vegetables. A lot of people are going crazy. I see in Amazon people buying a lot of vitamin C supplements. They are not what is happening right now. They're just taking a lot of vitamin C right now, when you should be taking vitamin or eating or drinking your vitamin C throughout the year to prevent a cold or the flu. So just have this time to learn how to have like healthier eating habits. So start drinking water, don't forget to eat fruits and vegetables, and don't be afraid of coronavirus. It's not something that we should really be concerned, but we let's just keep in mind that we can hurt someone else, we can hurt our families if we don't take care of ourselves. So just be careful when you go. Don't go outside, just stay at home if you don't have to go outside.
Thanks, Kande.
Jelly, is there more you want to add?
I want all of us to put in our best effort to help in the best way we can, because I miss being able to leave my house. And I feel like the more we work together, the more we're focused on staying home, not visiting people, the quicker we will be able to go back to our daily activities without so many restrictions. So please help me leave my house.
Great.
Let's all help
Um,
Jelly, guys.
Yeah, we'll do this for Jelly. Thank you for doing such a great job on that presentation, Tina. A couple of things I'll add to this is, one is, I heard a researcher from the CDC say that if we can freeze everybody in place for 2 weeks, this whole thing would end, right? That's all it would take, is if everybody just froze in place for 2 weeks, it would go away, right? But we obviously can't do that. People still have to live lives. We still need access to essential services and things like that. So with that reality, think about how can we make it so that we are virtually freezing ourselves in place for 2 weeks so that we can put this to an end. And it's important. I will also say that we do have a camp student from last year's cohort whose family got it. Her dad was in the hospital for a week and a half. He finally was released yesterday and doing better, but there was a period of time where he was in the hospital in ICU and under critical care, and they weren't sure if he was going to make it because he is an older man and does have breathing problems. So there was that scare, and it was really close to home if you think about this student lives in our community and she was one of us, right? But there's not enough tests for her whole family to test to see if everyone else got it. They just told them assume everybody in the family has it and to stay home, and they were under quarantine during that time. So those numbers that we see are a little misleading because more people could have it than we know because they don't have enough tests for everybody. So if someone in a family gets it, they just assume everybody else in that family has it and operates in that way. So it did hit pretty close to home with that camp student, but I'm happy to say that everyone's home now, and everyone that was hospitalized is now feeling a lot better. So it may seem like very far away from us, or it may seem like, oh, nobody in our family is getting it, it's not real, but it is real, and there are real consequences for this. So everything that you're doing right now to be online and not be out there, everything that you're doing to stop this, we all appreciate it because it's impacting people in many ways and will continue to impact people in the future in ways that we cannot predict right now. So let's keep that going. Okay. I appreciate that.
Also, last thing, sorry, Robert, last thing.
Yeah.
I wanted to say that I know this is a very important time. And it's a very especially for religious groups right now, there is a lot of things going on in our churches and our religions. And so people do want to still gather, but it's very important that we try to avoid doing that just because we want to be safe. We want other people to stay safe. And it's not just about us, it's about other people as well. So keeping that in mind, the best thing we could do for other people is to try to stay home. And I know that there is very important religious activities coming up. And I know that you all might want to participate, but think about it twice because we do have people out there that are very vulnerable and they can be very affected by this. And so we should try to stay home if you can.
It's a great point, Tina. Thank you. So, well, we're going to do an activity. We're going to try to change the tone a little bit because this seems like bad news. But let's do, like in Bueno Camp fashion, a competition right now. So everybody needs to have their wits about them because we're going to call you out. Here's what we're going to do. We are going to split you up by gender. So it's going to be guys versus girls. All right. So I'm going to call one guy and one girl to compete against each other one at a time. And you're going to try to win your team points. And here's how you're going to do it. So in a second, Tina's going to pull up another slideshow. And on there is going to be the rules for the game. And then Jelly, do you want to explain how the rules are going to work?
Yes. So everyone on your Zoom taskbar on the bottom, you have options. It says participants chat, record and reactions. We want to go to the reactions portion. In the reactions portion, we have clapping hands, and then we have thumbs up. Can we all see that? Give me a thumbs up if you can see that. I see thumbs up. Ulises, Jose Antonio, Hayat, can you give me a thumbs up? Martin, Paola, thumbs up. Carlita, thumbs up. Actually, use a little emoji.
There's one at the very bottom, like at the bottom of the screen. It says
Reaction.
reaction, and it has a little face on it. It's the very, like, one on the very, very, very right.
We need to see this. Give us that thumbs up. All right.
Yeah,
Elena's good. Hayat, did you find
yeah,
it?
did you see the thumbs up? No? Not Martin? Is not showing up?
So maybe we'll just have to have him do it.
For you, Martin, you're going to have to do this when you get called up, okay? Okay. And okay. And then now can everyone give me the little clap? Everyone clap for me. Paola, can you clap?
Yay!
You can't find it neither? Yeah, on the bottom. I wonder, because Chrome, I don't know if the Chromebooks have this option where it says mute, stop video, record reactions. No?
They go to participants.
Okay, go to participants.
Luego dice raise hand y luego sale el paso. Or I think, sí hicimos en another class.
All right.
Maybe Paula.
Oh, yeah, I see it. Okay, now.
Okay. So we'll try it.
Okay, so Tina, do you want to pull up the screen or do you need me to?
I could do it.
Okay, so to start, I'm going to call on Saul in Sydney. So Saul and Sydney, you two are representing your teams right now. You're going to be our first contestants. All right, so I need you, you're going to show this by either doing a clap or a thumbs up. All right, so this is called Price is Right. How does it work, Jelly?
The way that it works is that we are going to show you a price. So first we're going to say it's Tina versus Robert, right? So Tina versus Robert, and then we're going to show you a price. Let's say we show you this water bottle. And on this water bottle, I'm going to say a price that's, let's say it's $5.49. So if Tina and Robert are going to decide if they think that the actual or the real price is higher. So if you think it's higher, you're going to give me the thumbs up emoji or your own thumbs up. If you think that the actual real price is lower, you're going to clap for me or give me a thumbs down. So this water bottle is actually cost $3.99. So if Tina gave me a clap, it means that was lower, she would win. If Robert gave me a thumbs up, then he doesn't get a point for his team. So the point is for you to guess the real price based on what this number is, if the real price is higher or if it's lower for this. Make sense?
So it's cool. Who are the two contestants, Robert, right now?
Right now it's Saul versus Sydney.
Okay, Saul versus Sydney. This is the item.
All right, Saul, Sydney. So show us a thumbs up if you think the price of this bear is more than $12.99, or give us the clap if you think it's below $12.99.
So you
right,
both think. Go.
2 thumbs up. The actual price is $17.09. Both teams get points.
So this is guys versus girls, by the way.
Right. So good job. 1 point each. Now, Gabriel, Brenda, you're up. All right. You ready, Gabriel? Brenda, you ready? Did we lose Brenda? Brenda,
No,
give me
right
that
here.
thumbs. Okay, you ready to go? You have your thumbs up and your clap reactions ready? All right, here we go. Colgate, $1.99. Is it cost more or less? Thumbs up if it's more, clap if it's less. All right, for first contentious one. Gabriel says it's more, Brenda says it's less. The actual price is $2.99. 1 point for the male team. So now their score is 2-1. Good job, Gabriel. Not so good of a job, Brenda.
You did great.
Try harder next time. All right, next contestants. Jose Antonio, Noemi, you're up. All right, is this package of Glad leak protection trash bags $18.99 price high? Is that too high or too low? Give me a thumbs up if you think it needs to be higher. Thumbs down if you think it needs to be lower. Both say lower. The actual price, $16.37. Both teams get points. So, current score: our males have 3 points and our females have 2 points.
Good job, guys.
Next contestants: Adolfo and Hayat.
It's an avocado.
It's an avocado.
The price changes very often.
Yeah, but this is Amazon prices as of yesterday,
Don't
right?
cheat. Don't go on Amazon.
Oh shit! I mean, these are just prices that we found recently from some strange source. Okay, thumbs up if that price needs to be higher. Clap if it needs to be lower. I got a clap from Adolfo and a thumbs up from Hayat. Actual price? $1.99. 1 point females, no points males. So that ties it up. 3-3. Okay, our next contestants, Ruben and Paula.
Okay,
All right,
so
Paula.
I could only raise my hand, so should I just private message it to you? Like clap
You
for
could,
thumbs
you
up?
could say it with your voice.
Yeah, just
Okay.
say it. Wait, let Ruben do his first, okay? Then you can say what you want to say. So crayons, $3.99. What do you say, Ruben?
I think it's higher.
Thumbs up from Ruben. Paula?
Lower.
Oh, here we go.
All right, let's see. Dun dun dun.
It's higher. So who said higher? Sorry.
Me. Just kidding.
All right. The liars get no points, but the males get an extra point. So 4-3. Here we go. Okay. Abel and Maddie. What do we have here, Tina?
We have here a very fancy clear umbrella for the rainy days coming.
Right. April showers are coming. So if you spend $20.99 for this item, are you spending too much or too little? So thumbs up if the price is higher, thumbs down or hand clap if the price is lower. So Abel, Maddie, what do you think? Maddie says thumbs up. Abel says thumbs up. Actual price?
$14.
$14 on Prime. So no points that time. So still 4-3 males over females. How many more items do we have, Tina? Do you know?
I forgot.
Okay.
I don't want to. I don't want to check because it'll.
Okay, Ulises and Adriana, you ready?
Here we have an alarm clock.
That's a beautiful alarm clock. $13.99. Thumbs up if the price should be higher. Thumbs down if it should be lower.
Lower.
All right, so we have Ulises saying lower, Adriana saying higher. What do we got, Tina? Wait, that's the same price, right?
This was my fault.
Both teams get points. All right, good job. So, 5 points males, 4 points females.
Guys, I can't.
We all reviewed this too, and none of us got that. This is Jelly's fault.
Okay.
All right. Okay, Martin. Who is Martin and Mari? Here we go. Martin, Marian, what do we got? Oh, $45.99 for this outdoor water park. You could have this in your backyard. That's price is too high? Or if you think the price is higher, give me a thumbs up. If you think the price is lower, clap. So Mari was clapping. Martin, thumbs up. Here we go.
All right, you ready?
Oh, another point for the guys.
Come on, girls.
I was so worried it's going to be the same. So 6 points, guys. 4 points, females. Here we go.
At this point, anything could happen.
All right, we're going to shoot back to Saul. Saul versus Elena.
I think this is the last one, actually.
Okay, so not Saul. It could be Saul. So one male. Who wants to volunteer to represent the males? It could be anybody. Want to bring? Okay, Saul's stepping up, bringing home the win for this will be worth 2 points. Okay, so Anna, Elena, Jasmine. Who wants to do this?
Carla said she'll do it.
All right, it looks like Anna's doing it.
Nominate Jasmine.
What?
Okay. All right, it's gonna be Anna and Saul. Ready? $10.99 for this cat pillow. This adorable.
Oh wait. Higher.
All right, Saul, what do you say?
Lower?
Lower.
Uh-oh. Here we go. It is lower. Right. Round of applause for our males who win 7-4. Guys are better shoppers than females, apparently, according to this game.
Not when it comes to Valentine's Day.
Oh.
Yeah, you gonna bet on that?
Oh. All right. Moving on. Okay.
I'm going to stop sharing my screen now.
Yeah. Okay, so we only have 2 more things to review with you before we're done for today's class. The first thing is I'm going to share my screen with you all. All right, so what you are looking at here is our homepage for our class. So a couple updates to the class. So as you know, we, like all your other classes, we had to go online. So if you visit our course shell and you go to the content tab, you can see all the changes that have been made for what's going on in our class. First thing I want to point out is our syllabus. This is still the original syllabus we handed out on the first day of class. You can ignore that because things have changed. What is important on this page, if you go to this tab, is this online class dates. So we have set new class dates for the remainder of the semester. So today we're meeting right now. Our next class will be April 24th from 1 to 2:30, and then our almost last class will be Friday, May 1st from 1 to 2:30. We'll keep reminding you, but just so you know, our remaining 3 classes are going to be on Zoom. These are the dates and times. We expect you to be there for class. Tell people at work and your family that you have an obligation to us and you want to do this and you love us so much that you're going to be here for these times. Okay. Next thing, I want to talk about assignments. So these are the assignments for the rest of the semester. A lot of you have done your interview with the advisor, Rick. If you haven't, you can still set up one-on-one appointments with them. Let us know. We can help facilitate that. Please email me that sheet. You know, so if we click on this, it's this sheet right here. Sorry, that's somebody's sheet. You can't look at theirs. Getting out of there. So please send that to me if you once it's done. You can email it to me. That would be great. I'm going to go to student view really quick. That is worth 6 points of your grade. Attendance and participation is also worth 6 points for every day you're here. So we counted all the attendance and participation. So if we do this, 1 second, please. All right, so if we're here, you can see this is my grade for the class. I'm failing everything because I haven't showed up to class yet. But you can see the interview with Rick is going to be for 6 points. The career discovery essay that we've been talking about will be due on May 1st. That's 20 points. The professional Zoom job interview that Jelly's going to talk about in a little bit is worth 10 points. And then here's our attendance and participation. So the classes we attended up to the leadership conference are here and already graded. And then today's class and then the next couple classes on Zoom will be graded. Those are worth 6 points. The way those work is if you're here and you're on time, you get all 6 points. If you're late to class or you have to leave early, you only get 3 points. If you don't show up, it's 0 points. Now, our tutoring, our weekly tutoring is now going to be worth points for class 2. So each week you can get 2 points by doing your 3 hours of tutoring. Grades for week 1 are already up. So make sure you're logging in to Zoom to do your tutoring so you can get your points for there. So that's how you can get all your points for class. Show up on Fridays to our Zoom things, do the advisor meeting with Rick, do the career discovery essay at the end of the term, do your job interview in the next couple weeks, and then show up to class, show up to the tutoring hours, and then you will get a good grade in our class. Are there any questions about how class is going to work from here on out? The last thing I want to add to this is that when we pull up our class dates and we say that this will be our, looking at this, it looks like May 1st is our last class. That will not be our last meeting. All right. So the camp staff all very much want to have a final in-person party to celebrate the year with you all because you all deserve it. And we want to do that with you. So even if the campus is not open by the end of the term, we will postpone our final meeting with everybody until campus is open again. So if campus opens back in June, we'll schedule a time in June for all of us to get together for our final class. And that'll be where we have a party, we'll have food, we'll do everything we can, but not until it's completely safe for everybody and we don't have to worry about this virus anymore. So we will have a final end of year gathering. All right, that's all I have for class. If you have any questions or whatever, talk to your PAC people. Saul, what's up?
How many people get Larry Awards today?
Larry Awards, oh yeah. So there's been a couple modifications. So one thing is we have changed the Larry Award. And this was Jelly's idea, actually, not my idea. So Jelly has said that if you're logging into tutoring, but you're not showing your face, you get a Larry Award point. So if we see you logged into tutoring, but we don't see your face, you're going to get a Larry Award point, right? So at some point, you got to turn that camera on so we can see you, and then we'll make sure you don't get the Larry Award point. All right? This is Jelly's idea. And Jelly, who's dancing over there, is winning right now for the camp staff, just so you know. So now maybe some of us are worried about how we look. Let me just remind you that I look like this. And this beard's going to keep growing uglier and uglier. So don't worry about being the ugliest person on camera if I'm on camera, right? Number two, if you... yeah, I look this ugly all the time. Also, if you're worried about your background, Zoom has these cool backgrounds that you can add on there so that people don't see what's going on behind you. So maybe you don't want people to see what's happening in your kitchen or your bedroom or whatever. You could make a custom background for you so that you don't have to show that off. So let me know if you need help doing that. I'd be happy to help you have your custom background. I think Abel has one. Abel, is yours on right now?
Yeah,
I have it.
Oh, okay. That's okay. So you don't want those Larry Award points? Show your pretty face to us. We want to see you. That's all I have. Jelly, take it away.
Okay, are you all ready for this? Because I'm working on it. 1 second. So another thing that Saul wanted Robert to talk about was the points. So Robert has a poll to say when we are ready to leave due to the COVID-19 thing. So if you're interested in joining the poll, please talk to Robert. And I was just buying time to set up my presentation, which I have now. Share. Perfect. Can you all see that? Yeah?
Yep.
Cool. I'm going to go to, where's presenter view? Present. Perfect. So we are asking you all to do a Zoom interview next week. So next week, so typically the way that this works is that we have a lot of professionals come into the camp classroom, and we send you away to different classrooms where you are able to interview with someone. We're trying to do that for you still so that you can get that experience, but we are going to do it via Zoom. So why are job interviews important? It's the most important part of getting the job. When you apply for a job, your application matters, but once you get that phone call for the interview, that's going to determine whether you get it or don't get the job. This is your opportunity to show off. Are you a funny person? Are you a people person? Are you smart? Do you have the communication skills that they're looking for? Are you a likable person that they want to hire you? So it's very important that you are prepared for this interview, because this could help your confidence. If you go in there and they start asking you and you're not prepared, you might go into a mental block, and it's going to be really hard for you to feel good about that interview. The do's and the don'ts. So look at how my friend is dressed versus my other friend. So it's very important that when you are offered a job interview, you understand and you do your research as to where you're going to do the interview. Is it downtown? Are you going to have to pay for parking?
Hey, Yuseli?
What?
My screen, your slides aren't advancing. Make sure that.
How do I do that?
So it's not in presenter view on my screen for some reason. Is everybody else seeing the same thing I'm seeing, where you see actually the?
It's not moving. It's just in the title screen.
Right. So I'm gonna turn you off sharing, and then you could turn it back on and see if that does it.
Okay.
Hey, what was you saying about downtown?
So parking, right?
Mm-hmm. So am I good to share my screen again?
Yeah, try it again.
Can you see it?
Yeah, that's better.
Is it advancing?
Yep.
Perfect. Okay. So what I'm saying about parking is that sometimes, let's say you have a new job interview, but you don't know where it is. You should look at where the place is, because maybe they have to pay for parking, or maybe they have a garage downtown that isn't linked to them. So also, since we are asking you to do these Zoom interviews, and a lot of them, your background matters. Even though Robert says that we can customize our backgrounds, we don't want to do that, because some people customize those and then in the background your head fades and you can only see your shoulders, because your head is that green screen blurs you. So I also don't want to have my background of people walking across, my sister's running around in their pajamas. So be aware of what's in your background. Dress appropriately, even though it's a Zoom interview. Still dress nice. Wear a nice shirt. They are going to be grading you on that. Do your homework in terms of who are you working for? What is their mission? Why are you applying for that job? So I used to work for this big foundation, and that's one thing that they would always ask is, why are you interested in working for the foundation? And when people came in and didn't really know a lot about the company, their goals, their mission, then that was a big red flag that they're just looking for a job and they don't really are invested in being part of the team. Take everything you need. So let's say they're asking for a resume, you might need to leave, you might want to take something to take notes on. So that's always important to have handy. Arrive early. So let's say you have your Zoom interview at 2:30. Be sure that you try to get onto your Zoom interview by 2:20, 2:25, so that you can avoid all those technical issues that we often run into. Greet everyone with respect. Even though you're walking in and you're going in the elevator, you're walking into the building and you see the person that's cleaning, greet every single person you walk into, because there have been times where the people leave, meaning the potential supervisor goes and talks to the janitor, the cleaning person, and says, hey, how did Robert treat you when he walked in? And if Robert didn't even acknowledge them, if Robert was like rude and just threw trash in the ground for them to pick up, they're going to consider that. So your impression starts as the moment you walk into the door of that building. Remember people's names. Like I said, take paper and pencil so you can write things down. It's really important that you personalize and you start making that connection so that you are memorable. Something we also recommend you do is to try and always commit with that eye contact. Eye contact, a lot of people like and appreciate. Yes, in our culture, it is sometimes hard for us and we tend to look down and not look at people in the eyes, but sometimes people that don't look in think that if you're not looking in their eyes, you're lying or you're hiding or you're timid. So let's try our best to look at people in their eyes. Your body language, are you excited to be there? Are you just like not interested and you're just crossing your legs? So body language says a lot. Use appropriate language. You are a professional, so try to avoid any bad words. Try to avoid any lingo that you use with your friends. Don't go into controversial topics like politics, religion, sex. Those are just things we hope to avoid in general. Always ask questions. It's always good to come in prepared and you potentially ask like, why do you like working for this company? What attracted you to apply for this job? How long have you been? What's the thing you most like about your job? What's the hardest part of your job? It's always important for you to come in ready and to engage and not just walk out. And the most important thing is to write thank you messages. We were giving out a job and it was the person that was going to replace me. And I was on the hiring committee of who was going to replace me in this new position. And the person that got it one of the biggest reasons was right after they left, like a couple days later, before we had decided who we're going to hire, we received a message, hey, thank you so much for taking the time. I really appreciate you giving me the opportunity to do this interview. And that person got it because they took the time to thank us for our time. Also, things not to do. Do not chew gum. It is hard to talk on its own. When you're chewing gum, you're making you're nervous and you're making all these extra noise. It's going to make it harder for you to really articulate what you are trying to express. Try to avoid speaking softly. If they can't hear you and they're asking you a question, it's not their job to have you speak louder and be more clear. It is your job to present yourself, sell yourself, and to be the best person you can. Also, don't seem desperate. If you're like, oh, I just really need this job, that turns people off because they want someone that's committed and someone that wants to be there, but also has other options because it helps you potentially ask for more in return. Don't lie. Lies always come back to you. Try to not answer with yes and no. This is a one-time and an opportunity you have to really express yourself. So if they ask a question that's yes or no, add the reason or talk more because that's just going to be better for you in the long run. And try to avoid saying, I don't know. Even if you don't know, ask for examples. Say, at the moment, I'm not sure, but I would think about this or that and ways that you would solve that issue or what you would like to see happen. Avoid long pauses, especially when you are in a Zoom meeting, because if you're in a Zoom meeting and you just freeze and you don't know how to say something, we might think that you're disconnected. We might think that you're frozen. So those long pauses are not good. It's okay to say, hey, can I take a minute to think about it? But let them know that you're going to take a minute and then say, okay, I'm ready to answer. Do not ask for the salary and the benefits. That's just not something that anyone advises you to do when you first come into your interview. Once you're offered the job, that's when you can negotiate, because at the end of the day, you have the power to accept or deny the job. But in the first meeting, that is not where you ask how much you're going to get paid. And avoid using your cell phone. Put it away, make sure it's on silence. And that we have some sample questions that you might potentially be asked this next week or the following week. You might be asked, what are your weaknesses? Be sure that you have something to talk about. But not only talk about that weakness, but talk about how that still is an asset, like that's something positive. Might be like, oh, well, I'm really indecisive, but I am working on it, and that's a good thing about me because I'm able to ask more questions, and I'm a thorough thinker, and I'm not quick to jump to conclusions. So yes, it's a weakness, but I also talk about how it is a strength of mine. Why should we pick you? They might ask you, why you? You have to be able to brag about yourself. You need to know why you're worth it, and you are the best person for this job. So why do you want to work here? Again, know what the company represents. If you're going to apply for a company to now sell sneakers, but you know nothing about shoes, you should look at some things that they love about those shoes. Why did you leave your last job? If you got fired, you need to understand and you didn't have an explanation of why you were let go. If you decided to leave, you need to explain why the reasoning, because they want to have someone that's committed to be there and not leave in the next month. And when they say, tell us about yourself, again, it's the best time for you to share the great qualities you possess. Expect the unexpected. Let's say they were to ask you, if you were an animal, which one would you be? Don't just say, oh, I would be a fox. That's a yes and no question in a way. Explain why you would be that fox. And let's say they are asking you, what salary are you seeking, so they understand what you are looking for. You need to come in with an idea, doing that research of like, oh, if I am going to be a representative of this business company, what are the salaries out there? What does that look like? What can I expect to ask? Because you don't want to aim for too high, or you don't want to aim for too low. So you have to do that research. Can anyone tell me what the difference between salary versus hourly is, depending on what job you're looking for? Does anyone know? I'm talking super fast because we're over in time. We're 6 minutes over.
The difference between salary and hourly is salary is you get paid for a certain time, no matter if you're there or not, I guess. And you don't get extra money or anything if you're there over the time limit that you guys talked about. If that explains right.
In a way, that's part of it. So a salary is pretty much like a contract that you have that you're going to be paid X amount of money throughout the year. So let's say you enter a contract and your salary is $30,000. No matter if you work overtime or you have other things, like that's your salary and that's how much money you will be getting paid. When you're hourly, you're getting paid for the hours. So let's say you work 5 hours, you'll get paid for those 5 hours. If you work 10 hours, you'll get paid for those 10 hours. In a salary job, let's say you get your job done in 5 hours, then you get paid the same amount than if you were to work 10 hours. Does that make sense? The difference in the jobs? I didn't know that salary things were a thing until I started working for camp. I had always been hourly. They had always told me your hours worth this much, and if you work this amount of hours, you're going to get paid this much. With camp, it's a little different. They're like, we're offering you this amount of money, and this is how much you're going to get throughout the year. Make sense? Okay, so now let's talk about the assignment. You do have an assignment. We are asking you to sign up for 2 time slots. The camp interview sign-up sheet is a title that we have for it, and we will send out that link, and you will be asked to please sign up for 2 times. Before you sign, this will start next week, and so the way it will look like is that it'll be Zoom. We will send you an invite. This will be with a complete stranger. Most likely, you will not know who they are. It might be one person, it might be two people, and we will be. And what we ask is that you send a resume to Robert by Sunday at 11:59 p.m. So by Monday morning, we are able to send out those resumes to the people that you will be being interviewed by. Do you guys have any questions? I talked super fast because I want to honor your guys' time. And
Can you show them the link? Can you show them the sign up sheet?
yeah, definitely. So when you go, are you guys seeing this?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're going to have to exit out of that presenter view for them to see it. And just so you all know, I did share the email, the link to your Ames email.
I received the invitation today.
Right. So Jelly, exit out of presenter view from that slide deck.
Can you guys see it now?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is what it looks like. So we already have one student signed up for Tuesday at 10 a.m. You have to sign up for 2 times. Cool?
Yeah.
Any other questions?
Jelly, can you show them both weeks too?
Okay, so we have week 1 right here. And then if you go down to these tabs, it says week 1 and week 2. So week 2 will look like this. We have times for both weeks. If you're really busy this week, please sign up on this other one. So week 1 and then week 2.
I guess keeping in mind that week 2 does have a little bit, like it has a little bit of less variety in terms of times. But you do have that option, so just look at your options.
And the interviewers will be grading you on the way you talk, the way you look, the way you answer things, and they'll also give you feedback on the way that you can improve and be better, and they will tell you what you did great. So it's going to be a formal interview. Any other questions? Carla, do you have a question?
I have a question. So what do you mean by sign up for 2 time slots? Like, do they have to be like times right next to each other, or how that works?
Nope, just 2 different time frames, because you might have 1 interview or you might have multiple interviews. At first, we're going to be sure to prioritize 1 interview.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Wait,
What's up?
so we need 2? Do we need to sign up twice?
You sign up twice. That is very important. Sign up for 2 different times.
Just in case, like, they count one time or what?
Yep.
Okay.
I have a
So-
question.
What's up, Adriana?
So how's like the interview gonna work? Like, is it just a general interview, like for everyone?
Yep. So it's not like, oh, today you're applying to become the next nurse at the elementary school. It's not that type of interview. It's like, this is a job interview in general.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we send all the interviewers a general list of questions that they pick from. And so they'll pick which questions they want to ask you, and it'll be up to them what they ask. And they are welcome to ask whatever questions they want. So if they don't want to pick from our list, they can. And then they're sent a rubric with how they're going to evaluate your interview skills.
Okay. Thank you.
So they're just interviewing our skills. It's not like an actual job that they're seeking for, or like a job title.
Right. It's just interview skills practice.
Okay.
But it's real and it's a grade. And for that, you do need to have your camera on. For Zoom, it's not like you can, it's, for Zoom, when you do interviews, you do have to have your camera on.
All right. So I'm going to ask a favor. We have a lot of people committed to interview you all on Monday. And if you do want that Monday slot, you gotta sign up for it today, right? But I want everybody to, before end of Saturday, how about that? Before Sunday comes around, before what is Sunday, the 12th? Right. So before the 12th, I want everybody to get on here and sign up for 2 slots. This way we can contact all of our interviewers and let them know so they can be prepared, right? So we want you to have enough time to prepare, and the sooner that we hear from all of you, sooner we can contact the interviewers, and then the sooner we can tell you when your interview is going to be for sure, so that you can be ready to go. So 2 things that are due: 1, sign up for those 2 slots, and 2, send me your interview resume, or your resume before the interview. All right.
I know a lot of you guys might be a little bit nervous about this interview, but these are all people, the interviewers are people who really care about camp and are taking the time to do it for us. So they're people who care about you and extension, and they want to just help you learn how to be a better interviewer for when it comes down to the real deal. So don't be so afraid that this is going to be like a very scary, mean person. They're just people who want to help you develop these skills that are very important for the real life. So hopefully that makes you feel a little bit better for those of you who are nervous.
Yeah, that's a good point, Tina. And as much as I want this to intimidate you all, the truth is these are all colleagues and friends of ours who we know are going to be very supportive and very encouraging of you all. So if you trust us that we're going to pair you up with some good people out in the community that are going to look out for you. So thanks.
Don't trust you.
Well, maybe you don't trust Robert, but trust Tina and Jelly, right? You know that they have your best interest in mind. Kande did this a few years ago. Kande, do you want to share your experience?
It was fun. I think it gives you like a very, once you start getting like, not like real jobs, but more like formal jobs or like jobs related, like that are related to your field, I feel like it's good for you because I get nervous very like easily. So it was good for me to know what to expect in like a real life interview. So it gives you like, it's fun. I mean, you'll definitely be nervous, but you'll be fine. I feel like it helps you because it's someone that you know, like if you do it with Robert. I think my year, they bring other people. They brought other people in the classroom, right?
Yeah, this is all going to be strangers for them too.
Oh, okay, so you'll be fine. Yeah, I feel like you'll be fine. It's your first interview, so I think you'll be fine.
And one thing that's real right now is that a lot of times our initial interviews are through Zoom. And so let's say we have 20 applicants and we choose to interview 10 people. Let's say we do 10 Zoom interviews, and then from there we narrow it down to the top 3 candidates. And then the final round of interviews will be in person. So this is a good way for you to also practice that skill set, because a lot of companies are doing that. And Robert has been part of multiple interview committees to where they've done the initial interview via Zoom, and then the final candidates are the only ones that get the in-person interview.
Yeah. So yeah, we're not cheapening your experience anyway by making it on Zoom. It's actually going to be the way of the future, because it's really hard to get everybody on search committees in the same room at the same time. So now they're moving to Zoom as a more plausible way to interview people. So it'll be a good experience for you all. So make sure you sign up for those 2 slots, turn in your resume to me, and also turn in your worksheet that you did with Rick and those Rick interviews. Tina, Jelly, Kande, anything else you want to say before we let them go?
No.
Thank you everyone for saying hi to us. Do not forget to do your tutoring hours. We will still have tutoring hours available until 5 p.m. tonight. So if you haven't done yours, log on and do homework. But you guys are doing really awesome. Good job.
And also, don't we only have 3 weeks left of school?
About 4 now.
4, right?
Yeah.
That's finals. Yeah. So we're only 1 month away, and summer's coming.
Adrian, any parting words?
Hey, Robert and Tina and Jelly, when is our like last day of classes, I guess?
May 5th.
Yeah, everybody's are going to be different depending on how they decide to do their final schedule. But that first week of May is when things are coming to a close. So look at your course shells and find out when all your instructors are deciding to meet for the last time. Okay. All right. So I want to thank Tina and Yeseli and Kande for doing such a good job and for doing all the work to prepare for today's class. We've had, even though we've been working from home, we've been very, very busy trying to set things up for you all and trying to move the program forward into the future. And I definitely appreciate the team's hard work and dedication to making this happen, even though we're doing it from our basements and our parents' bedrooms sometimes or whatever. So thanks to my team for you guys are the best. And I want to thank you all for, playing ball here and being good sports about moving everything online and being patient with us, taking our phone calls and our Zoom meetings and all that. You're doing great. I'm very proud of you all. And I'm sorry that this is how we have to experience camp right now. But I appreciate that you all are working so hard and making it happen. Hope you enjoy your weekends. Make smart, healthy choices. And we'll see you all online in the future. Take care, all.
Thank you.
Round of applause.
Good job, Robert. Thank you, Robert.
All right, stopping the recording.